Let's go to the waiver wire. Next week, Brooklyn, Indiana, the Clippers, and Miami all have just 2 games. So be careful when picking guys up from that team or starting guys from that team. And then there are 6 squads that have 4 games. I'm going to kick things off. We mentioned him at the top of Onyeka Okongwu. Clint Capella's out for a week or two. Okongwu is available in about 50% of Yahoo leagues. Go pick him up. It's just an obvious 1 to 2 week stream. And he should put up pretty good numbers. He's like a walking double-double and has block upside. But aside from that, I'm suggesting Markelle Fultz of the Orlando Magic this week, 40% rostered in Yahoo, someone I waited on all season in my 16-team stake league. He sat on my IR. And, of course, the week that I bench him, he almost gets a triple-double. He absolutely pops off against the Atlanta Hawks. For 16 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, 4 steals, and a block with only 1 turnover. He's been pretty up and down, had a couple of bad performances before that. But I just think Markelle Fultz, at the very least, is going to be the leading assist man for this Orlando Magic team. I think he's going to start passing a little bit more. Maybe it's a little less Banchero. Of course, we're somewhat worried about Jalen Smith coming back, but even if Fultz sees like 28 minutes a game, I think he'll be in good shape.
I mean, he's been gun shy to shoot his entire career. You know, there's a rich history going back to his elbow issues and all that. But yeah, didn't he have an amazing assist to TO ratio when he played last season, Alex?
Last season, if he would have qualified for minutes, he would have had the highest assist percentage in the NBA, which I think was close to 50%. And we're seeing that borne out a little bit this year. I will say 25 minutes a game. He's the 150th ranked player in fantasy right now. And he's not even playing that well. So I think there's upside. I think he should be on a roster if you have the spot in a 12-teamer moving forward. Ken, who is your 50% of leagues player?
Well, first, let me say, if you like our video content, please hit like and subscribe below. We'd appreciate that. I'm going to repeat something from earlier in the pod. My available in 50% of leagues is Donte DiVincenzo, double D. He's managed in only 32% of Yahoo leagues, something like 5% of ESPN leagues. The Golden State Warrior is going to see a lot more minutes with Steph Curry out to mid-January. We mentioned Andrew Wiggins has also missed a few games, though will hopefully return soon. DiVincenzo got a start on Wednesday before Curry got hurt. Or actually, that was the game Curry did get hurt in. DiVincenzo scored 15 points with 8 boards, 3 dimes, and he had 3 triples in that game. Last 5 games, mostly with Curry, over 10 points, almost 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 triples per game. But he is a little below average on the shooting percentages. Anyway, Golden State has 3 games next week and 3 games the week after that. I like DiVincenzo to stream for a couple weeks here.
Yeah, he'll be one of the hotter pickups this next free agent period. I think that's a great call, Ken. For my 50% or lower pickup, I have to do it, guys. I have to. I have to go to Detroit. Jalen Duren,
starting Jalen Duren, I believe.
Center, yes, the starting center of your Detroit Pistons, Jalen Duren. He's available in 55% of Yahoo leagues, about 90% of ESPN. He has started 3 games in a row now for the Pistons, and over that 3-game stretch, he's averaging 6.7 points, 14.7 rebounds, and 1 block in 29 minutes. It's the rebounds. That's really what he's going to do well. His field goal percentage will be solid. He's at 60% on the season. Free throws are a concern. He doesn't hit 3-pointers, but I do think the blocks, there's upside for more blocks than what we've seen so far from him. He's averaging 0.9 per game at this point of the season. But rebounds and blocks, field goal percentage, he is going to be there for it. So if you need a big man, you need big man stats. Jalen Duren for the Detroit Pistons.
How many of us picked up Duren in week 2, got frustrated and cut him?
After the season opener, he was picked up. He was a massive, one of the most popular pickups at that time.
But now, Stewart's was always playing out of position as a center, don't you think?
He's out of position in a starting lineup. He's out of position as a power forward. Yes.
Agreed.
Jalen Duren, 11th highest rebound percentage this season in the NBA. That's above guys like Jokic, Jared Allen, Vucevic, DeAndre Ayton.
He's not fighting Bogdanovich on the boards, that's for sure.
No.
Boogie's like, yeah, why don't you do that real work?
No one else on that team can rebound.
Jumper. Yeah, no one else can rebound. Bagley, if he moves, but that's a rarity. Alex, take us to your long shot of the week.
Charles Bassey is back.
Oh, you love you some Bassey.
I do. And then I dropped him because he wasn't playing, and now he's back, and I don't have him on any teams. But go pick him up. Jakob Poeltl is still, I think, going to be out for a bit. Last we've heard, he's done some 2-on-2 work. Doesn't sound like anything too good there. And then we also have Zach Collins dealing with an ankle issue, so he could be out for a while longer, although it doesn't really seem like Bassey's ever going to get more than 20 minutes a game. But still, over the past 6 games, Bassey's provided 7.7 points, 6.8 boards, 1.5 assists, and 1.7 blocks. Obviously, that's good enough for a fantasy center. And I will say, per 36 minutes, he is the 21st ranked player in fantasy. He's just a per-minute monster. Like I mentioned, I doubt he gets more than 20 minutes because the highest minutes he's ever seen in a game is 24, despite the injuries. But he's worth adding. He's too good per minute.
Is Poeltl on this team after the trade deadline?
That would be surprising.
27 years old, not really matching the timeline.
I mean, Poeltl and we just mentioned Bojan Bogdanovic are two guys who I'd be shocked. I mean, the Pistons did hang on to Jeremy Grant for a bit, but
but I totally agree with Bassey. I really hope we get a chance to see him play 25, 30 minutes because I think we could see some ridiculous lines from him.
All right, Ken, who's your long shot?
My long shot of the week could qualify also as my dull suggestion of the week. I was really torn, but I'm going with Patrick Williams, one-time lottery pick of the Chicago Bulls. He's managing exactly 25% of Yahoo leagues, 4% of ESPN. The Bulls are struggling. They should let Williams shoot. They should give him some plays. The old guys are not getting it done in Chicago. Last 5 games, Williams over 11 points, over 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.4 blocks. And you add a half a steal there, it's almost 2 stocks a game with strong percentages, 55% and 100%. Sooner or later, the Bulls need to let Williams eat. So I like Patrick Williams as a long shot if you have bench space.
Ken, I still believe. He was one of my favorite sleepers to target late in drafts, especially best ball drafts this season. Patrick Williams believes too. He thinks that he has what it takes to be a star. He thinks he has what it takes to be one of the best players in the NBA. He just said that a couple of weeks ago. It was.
I will say this though: he has some of the worst traveling violations you'll see in the NBA. And then he always looks. He has the same look like I can't take 5 steps. What? But he is young, athletic, and one of the few guys with upside on that Chicago team.
I agree. I think he's starting to turn around, seeing more minutes. I agree. He's a solid pickup. For my long shot of the week, I'm hitting the well again. We've already talked about this player this season, Jalen Williams for the OKC Thunder.
The one without the Y.
Yes, not Jalen with a Y, Jalen with an E, Jalen Williams. I just love the talent. I love the fact that he's starting to play more. He's a regular in the lineup. He has started back-to-back games, and 4 of the past 5 games. In the 2 most recent starts, he's averaging 15 points, 5.5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.5 blocks. He can hit some threes. He can get steals, blocks, as we've seen the past couple of games. The Thunder's rotation is very hard to deal with. It'll frustrate you, but I do believe Jalen Williams is one of the guys that will stick in it long-term because he has actual long-term upside. So I think he's worth adding now before he kind of takes off and hits another level.
He could see crazy minutes the last 6 weeks of the season when the Thunder start going into full tank and SGA and Giddey just started getting mysterious ailments to not play. Well, and Williams needs those minutes, so I could see them give him a ton of development minutes down the road.
I really think Jalen Williams is one of the guys who he was picked 12th overall in this 2022 draft. He's one of those guys who's picked outside the top 10 that I think in a few years we're going to be like, he's a top 5 player from that draft.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ken, who's your dull suggestion?
My dull suggestion of the week is a repeat of Alex's highlight from last week. But somehow he's still only managed in 14% of Yahoo leagues. Why are people not listening to you, Alex? Quinten Grimes, the starting point guard for the New York Knicks, and the Knicks have 4 games next week. So he is the classic dull suggestion of the week. Look, he's not going to pop off for 30 points. But look, he started the last 12 games for New York. And over those starts, he's put up 10 points, 5 boards, almost 2.5 assists with 1.5 stocks and excellent percentages of 48 and 80%. While hitting 1.6 threes. He is a cumulative stats in a 4-game week. So a nice 1-game streamer, starting point guard, Quinten Grimes of your New York Knicks.
That is exactly what I was going to say. You can put him on your bench and start him on the 4-game weeks, and it will be absolutely fine in a 12-team league.
Try RotoWire free. Go to rotowire.com/try and unlock the paywall by putting in your email.